welcome to Celebrity Liar. My name is Andrew Hill Newman, and once again, I am so lucky to be alongside Louise Rowe. Yay!
Come on, three people in the crowd.
Yay.
How excited on a scale of 1 to 10 are you that I'm back?
43.
Whoa.
No
Whoa.
kidding. Now, I know you know this, but in case you don't, the game we play here is very simple. Two celebrities are going to tell you the same story as if it happened to them. In truth, it only happened to one of them. It is going to be up to you, the audience, to decide...
Wait for it.
Who's the liar?
And I will be sitting here with my trusty computer. And
You sound all American.
For a second, like Valley Girl. And you can write in. If you go onto theroomlive.com, you can try and catch these peeps out and ask me questions. I'll feed it through. You get a bit of fame time, 15 seconds. Mm-hmm. And then at the end you can vote and lots of money goes to charity, and Andrew's much better at explaining it all.
Yes,
I just like to
and
have a
she will
giggle
announce the vote. It's fantastic.
with vodka in my water bottle. It's fine.
If you are still on the front page of theroomlive.com, click on that white bar underneath what you're looking at right now. It says
really
chat
big.
and view larger. Exactly.
Big.
You click on it, it gets big.
Is that it?
Yeah, no, do that, and then you can log into the chat room and talk to Louise and talk to JK and David. And speaking of JK and David, we have a great game tonight. There are eerie similarities between the credits of our two celebrity guests. Anchorman, Spider-Man, The Office, The Closer, SNL, SVU. Coincidence?
I love your intros.
Come on, how about it? David Koechner and
That
was good! Woo! Fellas, welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
I know I probably shouldn't throw stones from inside my follicular glass house, but
Whoa.
tonight we put the bald in balderdash. JK and David have exchanged stories before we started, and they are represented here in the bowl of stories, and we're going to get right to this. JK, you're going to go first, and you are going to tell us a story. We got 2 minutes on the clock. A story that we call Thank You for Robert Duvall.
So I'm doing a movie called Thank You for Smoking, which stars many fabulous Hollywood actors, including Mr. David Koechner and myself. But most exciting to me is that among the cast, playing actually my boss, is Robert Duvall. Robert Duvall. And I'm reading through the script, and there's only one scene where we are briefly in the same place at the same time because his character's home. So I'm very excited for that day to come. And that day comes. It's a big scene with most of the cast. I think it was the only day that Dave and I worked together. Almost the whole cast is there, where Aaron Eckhart is in his hospital bed and recovering, and we're all there. And Robert Duvall has a conversation with him. Robert Duvall is also recovering from something in his hospital bed. And I get there, and I'm kind of, trying not to be a dink and be peeking around for Robert Duvall. Well, Robert Duvall's character was in the hospital in a different state. So in the story, he's actually on a video monitor in the hospital that Aaron and all the rest of us are in. And it's the first AD, Blumenfeld, squatting behind the monitor saying Robert Duvall's lines, which was hugely disappointing to me. So fast forward a few months later, I'm at the Beverly Hills Hotel at the coffee shop, fancy thing, whatever it is. I'm doing an interview because I'm a celebrity.
Yep.
With backstage. And the woman who's doing the interview is, saying, what about this movie, what about that movie, and what about Thank You for Smoking. I tell her that whole story about how excited I was about Duvall and what a disappointment it was that it was, Blumenfeld, the first AD behind the monitor instead of Duvall. And I swear to you, at that moment, behind her, 8 feet behind her, crossing this way, Robert Duvall. And I tell her that. I go, unbelievable, there's Robert Duvall. He's walking right behind you. And she says, go say hi. And I say, he doesn't know who I am. What would be the point? 1-0.
Wow, perfectly timed. And I have to say, vaguely plausible. Well,
could have happened.
I don't know. I understand something similar may have happened to you. And this is tricky because it's a movie you were both in. But
Are we starting? Okay.
yeah, anytime you go,
We were both in the same film, and yes, I was very excited to meet everybody because it was a small picture, so you knew there was not going to be a lot of standing on ceremony. So on smaller movies, people don't necessarily keep to themselves. They tend to hang out. And seeing that, I was going to get to work with Maria Bello and Aaron Eckhart and Bobby D and JK, of course, and Bill Macy, I was like, wow, this is going to be cool. So all along, I'm trying to just really keep a lid on it. But I knew this one day the hospital scene was going to come up, and you look at the call list, the call sheet, and you're thinking everyone's going to be on there, right? And they don't give away everybody's information, and of course you don't get Bobby D's. But I'm thinking, well, today's the day, and I'm waiting, thinking my trailer might go from a 2-banger to a 3-banger because Bobby's there. He's probably going to get a bigger trailer. So we all go to the hospital set, and we're standing around the bed. Aaron Eckhart's had too much nicotine, and he's in bed. And I'm thinking, well, it's the hospital. They're going to shoot Bobby's scene here too because we're at the hospital set, and he'll probably just do his off-stage lines here with Aaron. Well, all right, this is cool. So we're gathered around. And there's the monitor we're all supposed to be looking at. They're getting ready to do this scene. And we're all chatting it up and talking, and I'm looking around trying to be cool, not because I was pretty excited. And then we start the scene, and I didn't want to say, do we want to wait? Because I almost did. But then the first AD starts doing Bobby D's lines. We're like, oh, why? He's not going to come here today to do off camera. They're not even shooting this stuff today. They're going to shoot his stuff all in a row, and his stuff doesn't start shooting till next week. So anyway, he's not there that day. About a year and a half later, no, 2 years later, I'm doing press at the Beverly Hills Hotel for Extract, of all pictures, the other one that he and I happened to be in together.
Movie. Yep.
Yes, very good. And I'm out of time. Oh my God! Wow.
You know
How's
what?
that feel?
Quick.
I talk too much.
I got a couple of questions. It's interesting because there could be so much truth in it for both of you. First of all,
is.
Bobby D, what do we call Robert De Niro when we work with him?
Just
Bobby.
Bob.
Oh, okay.
I did meet him once, and he said, "Hi, I'm Bob," and then he walked on. Wow. He had no interest in having a conversation. I get that a lot.
By the way, start your voting for who you think the liar is. They don't want your vote. They want you to believe them. But if you have any questions, you can pass them on through Louise, and she'll pass them on to JK or David. But it's interesting to me that you both have read an awful lot of scripts, but you at least realized he was in another hospital. You were disappointed at the moment.
No, I'm
that
a
he
total
wa-
idiot.
Yeah.
Because I read the blah, blah, blah,
my
blah,
line,
blah,
my
blah, blah,
line,
blah,
my
blah. Ooh,
line.
there's me.
Yeah,
Blah,
yeah.
blah, 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 blah.
See, the thing I thought, because it's a low-budget picture, well, it's the hospital day. They're going to shoot all the hospital scenes in this room. They're just going to probably shoot a different corner of it.
Sure. And make
So
it
of
look
course
like-
he's going to be here.
Interesting. Louise, do we have any questions yet from the chat room?
Yeah, as usual. Very random and not particularly related to the subject or the story. But it's always nice to get emails from you saying silly things like nice cowboy boots.
Okay.
Actually, they are.
They're very
though.
nice boots.
Can we see the
Luke
top?
Casey's, yeah.
Oh, see, I didn't know the
Ostrich,
shoes
no?
were going to be
Yeah,
on
they
camera.
are
Look at
ostrich.
You went the sneakers.
Nice.
Very comfortable.
Well,
Ken
I can't-
Lempit wants to know, JK, was Duval smoking? Unlikely, because it was indoors at the Beverly Hills Hotel.
Duvall was not smoking when he walked by in the Beverly Hills Hotel.
And what did you eat at your interview?
I have absolutely no idea.
No?
Oh, but I've been to that coffee shop. It's
So
nice.
lie. Yes, and was
I hang
yours
out
in the
there all the
coffee
time.
shop? Where were you?
No, we were doing a press junket, so it's all in a room.
Okay.
Well, what they do is they rent a floor of rooms, and you go room to room to room to do a bunch of different interviews.
Like a conveyor belt.
And he was just like
Notting Hill.
wandering down the hall?
I didn't get to finish the story.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, no, we don't even know necessarily how he bumped into him, but I noticed the same thing. Go ahead and vote if you haven't yet. If you've decided who you think the liar is the liar J.K. Simmons or is the liar David Koechner?
Lindy28, who's one of our most loyal people, clearly works for us in some way because she's always on it. No. What was Duval's reaction when he saw you because you are so famous and recognizable?
Duvall did not see me. He was literally walking by in profile, and the lovely woman who was interviewing me said, "We'll go say hi." And I thought, I'm just
Not
another
gonna.
schmuck if I go say hi. I mean, I don't know if he,
No, but you're not because you're so recognizable and famous.
because I'm a big famous
That's what
guy,
I
yeah.
know.
But, not compared to Robert
Oh,
Duvall.
another one. Strathgod1 says, how tall is he?
He's 5'9"3/4.
Okay.
So you had time to measure him even
Good
though you
height.
couldn't go up and say
I
hello.
just have a good eye for
No,
things
but he
like
didn't
that.
seem to be an extraordinarily tall or...
He's not a big giant man, no. No, not a monster like Koechner.
Monster.
Well, I got to tell you, I've decided who I think the liar is, and I'm going to write it down right here, and I'll show you guys, but I'm not going to reveal. I'll also let you know that I'm terrible at this. I often get it wrong. But I think that this is the liar this round. Louise, do we have one more question, or shall we?
No, the vote's in, actually.
Okay, and please tell me, what is the result of the vote? Who's the liar?
The 67% of you think that the liar is JK.
Really? I have to say, I disagree.
I disagree.
I disagree. I have David written right here. I thought David was the liar.
Wow.
Please, will the real liar raise your hand in a dramatic fashion? Oh! Wow.
Bad audience.
Wow.
That's me.
JK, he owned your story well enough to fool 67%.
And I didn't even finish it. That's the worst part. I think
Maybe that's the thing.
That's
Maybe it was
probably
because I
why.
had it timed too well.
Yeah,
I thought,
because I didn't get to it.
I actually thought you were lying once you said you were on the press junket upstairs, because I'm like, well, what's he going to cross through on the extract press junket?
I know. I thought of that too after I said it. I was like, shoot, how am I going to cross paths with him?
Well, the score, he got 2 points for that since he was lying and they believed him, but never fear, there's plenty of catch-up time. And you know, they're not only playing for honor, they are playing for up to $143 million in tonight's Mega Millions drawing. And you know, being the celebrities that they are, of course, going to donate a generous yet undisclosed percentage of their potential winnings to some very worthy charities. So why don't we find out who you're playing for?
my charity is David Koechner. Because David, he has 14 children, is it?
Yes, nearly.
And,
just take the 10 off.
They
The
just
4.
live in a double wide. And, and I do think he's a talented guy.
Very good.
My actual charity is called the Sunshine Kids, and it's a charity that's...
They're here.
yeah, they're all here in the studio.
Knocking things
down
around.
Knocking stuff over.
Live internet.
It's a charity for kids with cancer, sort of a hole-in-the-wall gang idea where they get a bunch of kids together, they bring them once a month, they take them to Hollywood, they take them to Hawaii, they take them whitewater rafting in Colorado, and just let all these kids with this horrible disease have a week of being kids and having fun.
Sounds like a great charity. I hope you win not only for them, but because it would be great publicity for the show. Who are you playing for?
The San Fernando Valley Mission.
Very good, very good.
Not as exciting as camps. I think it's just soup and bread.
That's sexy.
My wife grew up on San Fernando Mission Boulevard, so maybe I have
I'll give part of it to
And
your
my wife enjoys soup.
My wife likes the soup.
very good. Well, the score is 2-0. Louise, what do you say we move on to round two?
Let's do it.
All right, I'm
Andy.
going to reach once again deep within the bowl of
clackety,
stories.
clackety.
David, you are going to go first this time. We're going to get a fresh 2 minutes on the clock and listen to you tell us the story that we call The Exhibitionist.
The exhibit. Oh boy. Okay. I moved to Los Angeles in the summer of 1996. I'd been living in New York previously, and I didn't have a car, but I was on Saturday Night Live, and I was done with that job, so I was moving out to Los Angeles. And on the way, I go to Missouri, where I'm from, and I buy a car from my cousin Marvin. It is a 1972 Thunderbird convertible. And so I drive it out, and I'm having a great time because I'm from Missouri originally, and I'm living in LA and having a great time, and I get a job. And I was very happy to get a job. I got a job on Wag the Dog, which was very exciting. That's where I got to meet Bob De Niro. And I work sporadically. I'm not working to run the picture, but on one of the days I work, they kept me kind of late, and they never got to my scene, and they let me go. And I thought it was going to be like a full night shoot. And so I was going home. I'm from the Valley, going up Laurel Canyon because I was living up top of Laurel Canyon with two of my buddies, and we were going to go out. And they weren't. Oh, I wasn't going to be able to hook up with them, but I said, "Oh, stay. I got off early. I'm coming home." So I'm coming home, and I make a left on Ventura up Laurel Canyon, and then this motorcycle cop. I stop at the light. A motorcycle cop comes up, and he's right beside me. He starts glaring at me, right? From my right-hand side. And I didn't know what was going on. So I just played it really cool. I thought, this is really weird. Left-hand signal comes, I go up, he pulls me over right away, and wow, I don't have any time. And so then he pulls me over. Basically, here's what happens. He gives me 3 tickets. One for not having a California driver's license, one for not having California plates, and one for something he called exhibition of speed. The long and short of it is, he was really rude and gave me 3 tickets. Exhibition of speed, he said, was because he thought I was about to speed. That's what he said. Now I'm out of time.
I like that delivery.
I've got to learn to get my story quicker.
Well, I just think it's interesting you're asking us to believe that there was someone named Marvin in Missouri.
That's my cousin, Marvin Koechner.
That is
His dad's
exactly
name
the
is
first
Leo.
question. How, he's lying. There's no way he's got a cousin called Marvin.
You know what? I have an uncle named Norbert.
Wow.
Yes, so
I have an Uncle Delbert.
there you go.
Wow, the similarities
And a cousin
keep
Marvin.
going.
And a cousin. There's
Yeah.
2 cousin Marvins.
Well, let's find out if there's a cousin Marvin in JK's version of this exhibitionist story.
All right, so I had just moved here like 3 months before from New York with my cousin Marvin. He wasn't in the car at the time, though. I've been shooting late on Spider-Man 2. You may have heard of it. And I'm going home from Sony all the way up into Nichols Canyon, not Laurel Canyon, which is where my lovely family and I were living at the time. Had just moved in, and I'm driving along, and I see that there's a motorcycle cop, you know, over there by the side of the road. And I'm not great with authority figures in general, but you know, whatever. I don't care. It's late at night. It's like midnight. I've been shooting a long, long, long day. I have the top down in my Honda S2000. It was a 2003 Honda S2000, gray or silver, and it's kind of a cold night for like sissies who live in LA, but I'm from Montana and Michigan and stuff, and so anyway, I kind of get that he's looking at me. I get up to a red light, and he whoop, pulls up right beside me on his motorcycle, and he's just eyeballing me, and I'm just ignoring him, just refusing to look in his direction, waiting for the light to turn green. The light turns green. I pull up to the next light, same thing. Light, wait, look. And then I get on the freeway entrance is coming up. So this is a long story for this time. So I take away from that light, he pulls me over. Sir, license registration, blah, 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 blah. How long have you lived here? Or where are you going? I go, home, you know, where's home? Nichols Canyon. How long have you lived here? I go, about 3 months. He goes, right. He goes, sir, I'm issuing 3 citations. One is for not having California plates on your car. One is for not having a California driver's license. And the 3rd ticket is for exhibition of speed. And I said, I wasn't speeding. I said, I have a big digital speedometer. I know I wasn't going over 35. It's 35, right? He goes, no, sir. You went from 0 to 35 too fast. Swear to God. And I was like, what? He said, I said, and why is that like a bad thing? He said, you were racing. Who was I racing? That Nissan. Well, why didn't you pull the Nissan over? You won. 0!
Wow.
You beat the clock.
David,
That's about all I can say. You beat the
jealous.
clock. You didn't tell the truth, but you beat the clock.
I don't know whose story this is. If you do and you know who the liar is, go ahead and vote. But we have a chance to ask a couple of questions. He thought you were racing in a Honda? Wait, is the 2000
It was
the
an
little sporty
S2000.
one?
It was,
It's
yeah,
a little-
and it was actually, I lied. It was a 2002 S2000. I'm sorry. Sorry, I lied. I don't know, 3.
First it was gray, then it was silver.
Well, it was a grayish, it was a darkish, silver-ish, grayish.
Did you fight any of these tickets? Or did you?
I actually ended up, it took me 2 trips because I was, you know, new in town, like, never mind. It's a bad movie reference. But yeah, the second time down there, I went to traffic court to fight them because they were all pretty ridiculous, and the cop was a little overzealous, as they say. And they finally call my name. I'm all the way in the back of the courtroom, and it's like a quarter of a mile up to the judge's little lectern thing. And I'm walking up, and I never broke stride. I'm walking up. He says, these are the charges. He goes, Mr. Simmons, if it's all right with you, I'm just going to dismiss these charges. And I walk right by him. Thank you very much. And
Well, that's
because
'cause-
obviously that cop had a reputation.
And also, it was Spider-Man 2, so he'd seen Spider-Man 1. And
So
maybe,
obviously, that was because I'm a celebrity.
and did you,
and a liar.
in your version of it, did you fight this ticket or
No,
pay the
because it was going to. If I lost, it was going to cost more, and then my points. It would be no chance to get the points taken off my license. But if I paid the fine
liar
as it
and
was,
a pussy.
yeah, as it was, and then did traffic school,
school,
which
yeah.
was awful. And at the time, you couldn't. It was not before online traffic
Yeah.
school, so you had to go to a
No, I've
place
been there.
for comedy traffic school, which is even better.
Yeah, I've been there too.
And yet, for 8 hours, you went over a weekend.
I once gave the guy after the first 4 hours, I gave him punch up on his first 4 hours.
Nice.
He signed me out for the second 4 hours.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I went to the whole thing. If DMV's watching, DMV's watching, by the way. Any questions from the chat room?
All the questions from DMV. Lots of people want to know, what year was this?
For me,
Both of you.
it was 1997.
2003.
Okay. Were the plates expired?
No, the plates were just legitimate plates, but from New York.
Why does that matter?
Because when you live in a new jurisdiction, you have to register your car in that jurisdiction.
Right, you're not
And in
supposed to-
California,
especially in
apparently, you have like a
California.
day and a half to
Because
do
you
that.
get
I'm
socked with
English.
another tax because it's an out-of-state
Oh,
car.
okay.
I ran into
And the
this
fuel, all the economy stuff. The
That's
fuel
I
economy.
kept my Montana plates for like 8 years in
That
New
was
York.
the next question. From where were the plates from?
Missouri,
Mine were from New
Montana.
York.
Okay. And what colour was your car?
green.
Kind of green.
Like a
Racing.
hunter green, a dark green.
Got it.
That's
Like a
hunter
British
green.
racing green?
And Ken Limpet says Honda doesn't have digital speedo. That's a bit stupid thing to say, isn't it? Surely
That's an
any
incorrect.
car
You are incorrect, Ken.
in this millennium. And was there one cop, or did he travel with a partner?
No, there's-
What a guy in a
Adam
sidecar?
12?
That's a motorcycle cop.
yes, there are two guys on a motorcycle,
With goggles.
and I'm not even sure they were cops.
They were very buff.
Brilliant.
Wow.
Lots of people
No, one of
being
them was
very
named
impatient.
Cheech, I think.
Go ahead and vote if you haven't already for who you think the liar is. And I'll remind you, they don't want your vote. They want you to believe them. I think this time,
They're
this
both
person...
drinking water. They both must be lying.
I think this person is lying. And I'll share that with you. Louise, do you know who's lying?
This is crazy. This is
Really?
really weird, actually.
What, is there a
Oh no,
100%?
it's just changed.
Ah.
It's just leapt up. Are we ready?
Yeah, why not? Drum roll and all that.
Okay. 75, a whopping 75% of you think that. The liar is David.
Ooh, I agree with you.
Can we change it? Can we do a revote?
Could
not?
we please reveal in dramatic fashion, guys? Will the real liar please raise their hand? Oh, you're right.
I'm so thrilled that we got both of my stories, and I didn't have to.
No, you didn't have to make. Though I thought you did a very good job with it. I'm not sure well, you got to the end, and that was kind of cool.
Hey, listen.
Yeah.
You won, by the way.
Punchline.
And were you racing that guy?
I had no idea there was another. I mean, I was, the light turns green, and I want to get home.
Was there a
so I
squealing
was
of
like, there was
tires,
no
anything?
squealing, no smoking, no. I was just. I mean, it's one of those cars that wound out to like 9,000 RPM. It was like a motorcycle with four. So it made noise. It was like ring, but come on.
All right, well, the score is 2-1. David is in the lead 2-1, but now it's time for the exciting lightning round.
my fave.
Both David and JK were kind enough to send me some facts and supposed facts about themselves before the show. I've culled some of them onto these cards, and we're going to start with David reading his to JK. And JK, we call it the lightning round. So like lightning, please.
Yep.
After each one he says, please say true or lie. I'll write them down, and I'll tell you how you did after we get through all 5 of them. Anytime you're ready, like lightning.
Okay, this first one, my last name is Koechner, in German Koechner. In German, my name translates as metal parts.
False.
I have 70 first cousins.
False.
I once sold a dog for $50,000.
I hope that's false.
There was not a television in my home growing up.
False.
I lost my virginity on a school bus.
I'm going to go with that. Yeah.
You say true to that.
Yeah. To the dog that cost $50,000.
Okay, going back, he said in German his name translates as metal parts. You said it's false, and indeed that is false, so that's a point for you,
I actually
JK.
speak a little German, so let's try.
I understand
Ein
it's
bisschen Deutsch.
it could be tin maker, they've told me.
He does have 70 first cousins. How about that? You said that was false.
Yeah, a lot.
Are they
And,
all in the double wide there? with
Yeah,
you?
all in the double wide.
Yeah.
Okay, you said it was false that he sold a dog for $50,000.
Oh,
and
please.
It is sadly true. Was it plate?
No, I need to see some paperwork
It
on
was,
that.
and it was at my kid's school auction fundraiser, and I was the auctioneer.
In Beverly Hills?
No, it was
Charity
at
dog.
some rich person's ranch out in the valley.
Wow.
And two high-dollar producers were betting against each other for this dog for
So it
their
was a
daughter.
pissing contest, and
It
you
was.
were the beneficiary.
Yeah, well, so the school got 50. So I sold it for 50.
It is indeed false. There was a television in his home growing up. And you were also correct that he did lose his virginity on a school
bus.
bus. Was it
3
on
out
a
of
school
5,
day?
Wow.
No, it was night,
Was
and
it
we
to
were
the bus driver?
we were walking by the bus and looking for a place to go. It was night, and we tested the door on the bus, and we were in, and so was I.
Mazel tov.
So
all
much
right.
for the G rating. Thank
Okay,
you.
JK, if you would please
Mazel
read
tov.
these to
Love it.
David. And David, if you could give your answers true or lie, like lightning. JK has taken the lead. It's time for you to try and take it back. Anytime you're ready, sir.
I have never trimmed my pinky toenails ever.
That's true.
I have.
Oh, toenails. Oh, okay.
Lightning.
I have never trimmed my pinky toenails
I
ever.
saw hair, but yes, you have.
I have an innie, not an outie.
That's true.
I am circumcised.
I know that to be true.
I didn't know Koechner was going to be the other guy on the show. I broke my left arm twice in high school football.
False.
My grandfather was a well-known coin collector.
False.
Yeah, as if there could be a well-known coin collector.
No, I mean in coin collector circles.
Yes. In coin lore.
Wow, he's got such a nice nickel. It's all right. Let's see how this goes. You said it was false that he's never trimmed his pinky toenails ever, and it is apparently true.
No, thank you. It freaks my children out. They basically don't exist.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you don't have
I'm
them.
a freak.
Okay. He says he has an innie, not an outie. You said it's true, and that
Yeah,
is
that was
indeed
too easy. Too
true.
easy.
He says he's circumcised, and that is indeed true. By the way, we're getting a very clear image of what JK looks like disrobed.
Really like. You picked them from a long list.
Okay, it is right now 4-3. He said he broke his left arm twice in high school football. You said it was false, and indeed that was a lie. We have a tie.
He's just too tough.
score.
I knew you were too tough for that.
And no, it is false that his grandfather was a well-known coin collector.
He was
So-
one of the best-known stamp collectors in the United States.
a
by the way.
philatelist, not a
philatelist.
numismatist.
A published philatelist.
Philatelist.
Sure.
Philatel.
Well, David, you pulled it out. It was a very close game and a really fun game and an exciting game. So you are going to get 5 chances at winning up to $143 million. You can check that whenever you want. JK, here's one for you. Come on. And you know, the odds of that winning are just slightly worse than the odds of throwing it on the ground and it turning into $143 million. But I thank you both for playing, and I think they're both great charities, and I think it would be really great if you both won a little something. And I'm so thrilled that Louise was back. What a pleasure to have you. Thank you, Louise
to be
Rowe,
home.
for being the best co-host in the world. Thank you, J.K. Simmons and David Koechner, for coming and playing our game. I want to thank Robin Rouzan and Michael Davis and Matt Edwards and everybody else here in theroomlive.com. Follow us at Celeb Liar on the Twitter. Follow at Louise Rowe. Follow everybody good. Follow The Room Live. And mostly thank you for watching. Thanks a whole lot. Good night.